Hi, I'm Jill Reed, and I'm running independent candidate for the President of the United States. Write in Reed 2012. I've been crossing the country by train to meet hundreds a day, where the rest meet a few thousand who like politics. If you're like me because you are with me, I was just a young girl growing up in Wyoming when I knew I cared enough about my country to perhaps one day run for president. And I bet more of you are with me than part of politics, part of a political cycle of greed that's made up of the lawmakers who make the laws. And the laws, they're made with the irrational thought that you and I need controlled. You know, I bet you're one with me. And when those lawmakers make those laws, they create more lawyers, they create more criminals, and they all drive your standard of living down just like they do mine. Well over a year ago, I decided to do this, to run for President of the United States based on one thing. Why should one adult control another? If your answer was absolutely not, then I'm your candidate. I am Jill Reed. Write in Jill Reed. It's your greatest inherent power. It means you no longer label yourself as a party that you believe in the individual, as you should. Do you believe you should prosper and live happily? So do I. Would you support a law that would guarantee the conditions for you to live happily? I'm sure you would, rather than have thousands of laws per year drive your standard of living down. I'll share with you what I'll bring you with my 21st century approach to governance. Not government. We're government by the people, for the people. We are the people. We need one law, the prime law of protection. The prime law, preamble. The purpose of human life is to prosper and live happily. The function of government is to provide the conditions that let individuals fulfill that purpose. The prime law guarantees those conditions by forbidding the use of initiatory force, fraud, or coercion by any person or group against any individual, property, or contract. Article 1. No person, group of persons, or government shall initiate force, threat of force, or fraud against any individual, self, property, or contract. Article 2. Force is morally and legally justified only for protection from those who violate Article 1. Article 3. No exceptions shall exist for Articles 1 and 2. What would be the 7 effects of me running for president? First off, I propose a budget based upon what the American people have told me they want, which is your protection. Not offensively taking our youth's lives, their tender lives, and taking others, but instead protecting each and every individual in a country. That, in itself, my budget, cutting the federal budget in half, will cause your taxes to no longer rise. You will keep the money that you've willingly sent into our federal government to craft the laws that have taken your standard of living down. Next, we'll get a handle on the disease that's out there, that's running rampant. Instead of being cured, we'll unite business, science, technology, and medicine to find cures instead of masking the pain. A healthcare plan is not health. That grounded you firmly within their U.S. dollar, just like minimum wage did. Minimum wage won't get us far enough. So, we'll get rid of disease. Together we can. Terrorism and crime go up in a poor economy because crime pays. It won't pay when there are going to be plenty of jobs because we have 100 million geniuses rising to solve our economy together. I will trust you as the American people to rise up into businesses of your own, which is the way you build wealth. You don't do it through a government. So, I will trust to build the economy. You will trust me with the money you do send in that's only based on your protection. Unemployment will go down. Your quality of life will go up. Education today is not what we need, and going to college does not assure anyone of a job. Business does. We don't have business rising here. And our spending of your dollars through our government is not getting us a higher standard of living. Instead, it's going down. And we are trillions of dollars in debt. I don't need to speak to you about that. But if we continue this system, we will go down. I ask you, do you believe you should prosper and live happily? I am Jill Reed. I support this message. I wrote this message, and I love each and every fellow American. TVP2012.org. Thank you for your vote. Aquarium, how creative. There's jellyfish. I love what creative minds can bring to the world. Value to all of us.